These 5 tips are hopefully going to give you the boost you need to finally finish that sketchbook you've been working on. So the first tip that I have, which is probably the most easy to do and is not overly complicated, is to consume media. Now you may think you're consuming media and not you want to be creating, because you want to fill your sketchbook with stuff that you make. You don't want to just watch stuff. But consuming media is a great way to get inspiration and to fill yourself with ideas so that you can actually fill your sketchbook. Obviously, don't overconsume and don't steal other people's ideas, but being able to take media that you're interested in is a great way to just give yourself that little boost, that motivation that you need to get into your sketchbook and properly start filling it out. It could be anything from shows, games, comics, manga, whatever, books. If there's a character that you like, look at fan art of that. Look at pictures. You can do Pinterest. You can watch the shows. You can play the games. But consume media. It's just it's the biggest tip I have because it really helps your creative mind flow. The next tip that I have is variety. Now, variety is going to help you really, really make your sketchbook pop, but also to help you actually stick to it. It gets so boring doing the same thing over and over again that, once you've doodled so many headshots or so many of pictures of the same character, you get bored, and that's totally normal and that's totally okay. So what you want to do is to just mix it up a little bit. Draw someone that you haven't drawn before. Challenge yourself to use a new piece of media that you haven't before. Just kind of give yourself space to try something new. Your sketchbook isn't meant to be perfect. It's, in the name, sketchbook. It's something that should be quick and easy and fun to do. Now, a lot of your drawings inside your sketchbook might not be fun, but at the end of the day, it is your sketchbook and you should do what you want. But having the ability to make varied pieces of art and use different kinds of media does really help with wanting to continue, because it gives you options and it gives you ideas to choose from when it comes to what kind of things you want to create. Do you want to use crayons? Do you want to add things that pop out? Do you want to make it an interactive sketchbook? And stuff like that really does help in the long run when it comes to finishing your sketchbook. Now, this one might seem a little obvious or why would you even mention this? But basically, energize yourself. Make sure you've got the proper nutrients your body needs to actually create art. Don't go running on low. Don't, you can't drive a car with no fuel. You might be able to get a little bit far, but you won't be able to get to your end destination because you're not going to have enough fuel. So, obviously, drink enough water, get the nutrients you properly need to, actually create thoughts and be a human being. And when I say energize yourself, it's not just with nutrients and stuff. It's also mentally energize yourself. Go outside, go on a walk, and just kind of get your body moving a little bit, because it does really help in the long run to actually feeling active. When you feel active, you want to be more active, and it helps you be productive. So just try and move your body a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything too extravagant. Maybe even just do 15 star jumps, and boom, you can finish your sketchbook. It's just energizing yourself is just that one step closer that can really, really help you. It's something that I do a lot, especially if I'm struggling art-wise. I will be oh, I've probably not drank enough water, and that's typically how I know that I'm dehydrated. It's when I start feeling a bit low and I'm yes, and it kind of clicks once I've got that nutrients and that energy in me. It just makes it so much easier to do any art. And you can also energize yourself in terms of friendships and stuff, socially. If you need energy socially, that can also help. So talk to your friends and be around people who make you feel good about yourself and good about your art. And that's also another way to energize yourself. Mental health is so important when it comes to art, and I feel a lot of people don't actually realize just how big of an impact it makes when it comes to being able to draw and actually finish something. So make sure you're looking after yourself, and that's how you will be able to finish your sketchbook. So this tip is something that's more physical that you can do, or something that you can kind of set yourself, and it's challenges. So, especially ones one page a day, or setting a 10-minute timer a day and just drawing then. It really helps being able to pick apart just a little bit a day and you know, it might not seem a lot, but it adds up. You know, 1 page a day will add up. Eventually, after a month, you've got 30 pages of art. And it doesn't have to be anything big. You could just do, 10-minute doodles. You could have, like an hour-long session at the end of the week. Whenever you have time, if you want to fit it in and you want to get your sketchbook finished, then just trying to do, 1 page a day, or just giving yourself that extra, challenge really helps. And it doesn't have to be time challenges either, things like only drawing with one material, only drawing with a pen so you can't erase it, and things like that also really help because it helps to simplify it, which is part of the next tip. And yeah, I feel like challenges are also a great way to have unique pieces of art, because you can get so many ideas and things from the art itself and from a specific media, because you're limiting yourself, which is great as well. And my final tip for everybody out there is to just don't overcomplicate it, when it comes to art, I feel like a lot of people try and make it this big thing, oh, I have to do this and I have to make that, but you don't have to do anything. At the end of the day, art, especially when it comes to sketchbooks, is a personal thing, and it's something only you can do. It's something that only you can create the art that is yours. And, it might seem difficult at first, and, especially if you've hyped it up to be a big chore when it's really not. If you simplify it, it becomes so much easier to manage, and eventually your sketchbook will get finished. I think it's so easy, especially with how social media is nowadays, to forget that art is for you. It's not for anybody else. Obviously, if you're doing it as a career, then yeah. But sketchbooks typically aren't for a career. They're for you. They're for your personal enjoyment. So why shouldn't you enjoy them? And I think a lot of people forget this, because especially with how easy it is to access social media and how easy it is to brag about stuff and flex your art and stuff like that, I think it's really easy for people to forget just how personal art is and how long it takes to create art. Because there are people who can instantly flesh out a full sketchbook in a week, consistently, and you shouldn't feel bad if you're not at the same level as them, because everybody paces themselves differently. Everybody has a different quality of art that they're proud of, and I think that's the thing about art, is that because it's so personal to you, it tends to be a part your mental health, and how you view art mentally is a big contributor to whether you actually get stuff done and whether you actually continue to do art. So yeah, just try not to overcomplicate it, and pick up a pen and just start drawing. Whatever it is, your OCs, a fan art of a character you like, whatever it may be, just draw it, because that is how you will finish your sketchbook. I hope that if you watch this video, you was able to get some ideas, not really ideas, but I hope you were able to be a little bit motivated and feel a little bit more confident in your own abilities as an artist. And you know what? I really hope that you picked up your sketchbook, because art is one of those things that is so personal and important to me, and I feel like it can really help other people, especially if you're struggling. I think art shouldn't be viewed as some kind of career, because a lot of people, yes, you can make it a career, but it's not always a career. It's also a hobby. And a lot of people who doodle and create art tend to forget that you can separate your career and hobby. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to talk to me or my community, and you want to join the community, you can join the Discord link. You can join the Discord server in the link below in the description. Everyone is so friendly there, and we love artists of all kinds, professionals, hobbies, people who are new to the hobby or the art world. Everybody's welcome. And with that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!